Welcome to Becoming Grown. As we all know, growing up sucks, but that doesn't mean that you have to do it alone. So I decided to create a safe, healthy, and just interactive space for people who are in their 20-somethings trying to figure their life out. Through this journey, you're going to learn a lot about me, and I hope that I can learn a lot from you as well. We're going to learn about mishaps, mistakes, bumps, successes, accomplishments, all of it. We're just going to go through life together. So, welcome and welcome to the fam. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit a like, comment, subscribe if you want to. And if you're choosing to listen to me either on my website or on Spotify, hi, thanks for choosing to listen to me today while you do whatever it is that you're doing. And I just want to express my gratitude for you choosing to listen to me today. It's the new year and we have a lot going on, but let's start it on a positive note. And we're going to talk about a few things today, and we're going to get to know each other just a little bit. All right, let's talk new year, better me. 2022 was a doozy. I went through success, failure, gained some friendships, lost some friendships, learned a lot about myself, lost a relationship, and I sit here, looking back and reflecting on the past year, and I didn't accomplish the goals that I set for myself. My goals for 2022 were to make new friends, solidify the friendships that I already had, be another step further in the relationship I was in at the time, build stronger bonds with my family, and connect with my estranged family, get good grades, save a lot of money, get my first car, just become more independent, and lose 30 pounds. That's 9 goals. I accomplished maybe 3 of them. And I found myself around September feeling disappointed in myself. I was disappointed and just sad because I didn't accomplish the things that I wanted to accomplish. I lost more friends than I can count. I'm not in my relationship anymore. I did not lose 30 pounds. Who I thought I was going to be at the end of 2022 isn't who I am now. And I also had this romanticized idea of what my life was supposed to be. I'm currently 22, and I thought that I was supposed to have my life together. But I don't. And I find myself struggling to find the pieces, but I'm okay with that. I am now figuring out who I want and taking the time to get to know myself. And it's not an easy road to go down because I felt like I was just going through the motions. And I put all of this pressure on myself. It felt like I had the weight of the world on my shoulders. And that's what those goals that I set for myself, those New Year's resolutions that I set for myself, that's what they did. It was like this unbearable weight and dark cloud that I had over my shoulders that I needed to accomplish these things. So I started to put pressures on myself, on my friends, on my significant other, on my family, just to be perfect. But in all actuality, life isn't perfect. You mess up, you stumble, you fall, you lose, you gain, you win, and you come out totally different. And I'm sitting here a totally different person than I was at the beginning of last year. And I'm totally okay with that because I'm growing, I'm changing. And that's what your 20-somethings is about. Falling and getting back up again and not being afraid to lose and change and just adapt to your surroundings, whether you're in college or high school or whatever it is. Even in your careers, you're supposed to go through the motions, yes, but feel. And that's the purpose of life: gaining and losing, giving and taking, changing and adapting. That's how we survive. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't accomplish those goals, because I see New Year's resolutions really differently now. Because that pressure, and at the gate, when you have this very big pressure that you put on yourself on the 1st of January to accomplish these things, and let's just say going to the gym, and then you stop 2 weeks later, it's unattainable. So I decided to start this. This was my goal, because I have this huge fear of failure. I'm going to be open, honest, and transparent. I have a fear of failure. So I start things, and then when they don't measure up to other people, I quit. And I decided I'm not going to do that anymore. I labeled myself a quitter a few years ago, and that's weighed on me a lot. But I'm not that person anymore. I'm not going to quit, and I'm going to hold myself accountable. 2023 is all about accountability, change, and following through. So, what are my 2023 goals? Or my 2023 resolutions? I prefer to call them guidelines. I have some tangible things, like I want to journal more. I want to make healthier habits, and then there are some emotional guidelines that I want to follow. I want to choose myself. I want to learn that being the villain in someone else's story is a-okay. And I don't have to feel bad about choosing myself. And those are 3 of the things that I really want to accomplish this year, in addition to obviously becoming grown a huge community for people like me who are struggling to find who they are, what they want out of life, and just learn together. But with the journaling, I fell in love with it recently, and I've realized that I have this tendency or this behavior where when I go through things, I don't properly identify the emotions that I feel with that situation. And then it bottles up, and then I explode. And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be able to correctly identify my emotions while also learning how to handle situations like that differently. I want to express myself because I grew up in the Bahamas, and talking about your mental health and what you're going through isn't necessarily a thing. So I didn't gain the tools that I needed to do that, but I want to learn because I want to handle things differently and how I treat certain situations. Because I can admit that I handled a lot of situations that happened in the last year. Not the best, but I'm learning, and I want to develop my emotional maturity. So I feel like journaling is going to help out with that a lot. And then going into having healthier habits, obviously I want to lose weight and feel better. But it's not just for the aesthetics. I want to do it so I can feel better emotionally, physically, mentally. I want to just be better. So I'm not going to restrict myself and say, oh, I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week. be for real. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna choose to take the stairs rather than the elevator. I'm going to walk to school, walk to work. I'm going to do things that are healthy and active rather than just staying in my bed and watching TV. So I'm going to make choices every day instead of having a set number of times I'm going to go every week. In the beginning of the year, I'm going to choose to go every day. I'm going to choose what I do every day and hold myself accountable. And by healthier habits, I also mean mentally. I'm going to meditate, and I believe in prayer. I'm going to pray and just take steps to become a healthier version of myself. And then the final one, choosing me. This one is going to be a little controversial. I'm going to learn that being the villain in someone else's story, there's nothing wrong with that. Every great story has a villain. And I'm going to learn or decide to leave situations that aren't suited for me anymore. Whether that be friendships or relationships or even family. I've always been, here comes the big one, a people pleaser. Hi, I'm a people pleaser. Nice to meet you. And that's not who I want to be anymore. I'm going to be saying no more often. And I always put other people's needs and feelings and emotions before my own, and I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm choosing Haley. I'm choosing me. And it's about time. I let people walk all over me from high school. It was everybody's doormat, but not anymore. I'm not doing it, and I will not tolerate that behavior anymore. Because where I'm at mentally, I'm starting to value who I am as a person. And being a people pleaser and saying yes to everything and just letting myself deteriorate for the sake of others, that's not healthy behavior. There's being supportive, and then there's being a people pleaser, and that's not. I'm going to be supportive and be there for the people around me. That's who I am. I'm very big-hearted, but I'm not going to break my back for people anymore because I found myself fading away. I was no longer Haley. I took at least 11 steps backwards this year. But that's the part of growing up. You take a lot of steps backwards to take 1 or 2 steps forward, and this is my step forward. So, these are my New Year's resolutions for 2023, and I want to hold myself accountable. And saying this to you and being open and honest about the things that I want to accomplish this year, it's making me accountable. And these are healthy and attainable goals that I know I can accomplish. And I know that at the end of the year, when I look back and I reflect, even if I don't accomplish the tangible things, I know that I'm going to be different. I'm going to look at life different. And I'm going to feel good with the choices that I made. And the choice that I made to start this community and start this and make this big change. And when I look back on who I've been in the past, I'm not proud. I have been so soft-spoken and stepped back and been pushed in the shadows because I let myself. But I've also been a bully to my sister, and it's not becoming of who I am now. And the people who inspired me to make this change and be different and do different is my late grandmother. She's who I aspire to be like. And she's the one who's really pushing me to take this leap and make becoming grown what I know it can be. And then there's my mother, my rock, and she inspires me every day because she shows me what a role model is. She shows me how to be a strong woman, and I don't know what I would do without her. And then there's my little sister, my little baby, and she pushes me to want to be a better person. Someone that she can look up to and say, hey, that's my big sister. With a smile on her face, knowing that I'm doing everything I can to be and just become better. Because I'm becoming grown. I'm growing up at a rapid rate. And here I am taking a step in the right direction. So that's the episode for this week. I would love to hear your feedback in the comments and in your reviews. And what are your New Year's resolutions? Make sure you leave it down below. And I can't wait to interact with you and get to know you a little bit better. Like I said in the beginning, make sure you give us a like, comment, subscribe, leave a review. Hopefully you're nice, but I'm a big girl. I can take it if you're not. And I'll see you next week for our next episode. I'll catch you later. Bye.